Greetings. I am Ayame. I am the daughter of Muriel and Lawrence Liebert, granddaughter of Alma and Alfred Gumbs, great-granddaughter of Florrie and Christopher Gumbs, Jr., great-great-granddaughter of Christopher Gumbs, Sr. and Susanna. Christopher Gumbs, Sr., an African man, Susanna, an Arawak woman, Florrie Gumbs, a woman of Irish descent whose parents were brought to the Caribbean to work as indentured servants. I am fifth-generation Anguillian. In the Gregorian calendar year 2022, I find myself in one of the 5 boroughs in New York City. Throughout my life, I have always tried to learn as much as I could about my family's history. I have come across various obstacles, including some relatives only wanting to talk about a specific ethnic side. Some relatives can only tell me that great-grandmother's family came from Ireland. Some relatives want to only know about the African side, but sadly, there is even less information there. What is unknown to many of my relatives is that our great-great-grandmother, Susanna, was an Arawak woman. This was revealed to me about 10 years ago by my great-uncle, who later transitioned at the age of 104. This knowledge has become more important to me during my spiritual journey while learning about womb wisdom, health, and wellness. As a child, I was raised by my grandmother on a small island in the Caribbean. We barely had streetlights on the island. But for some reason, one of the few lights on the island was placed outside my grandmother's window. There were roads that I now describe as long forgotten. The island's history is such that Africans were brought to the island to work during the Atlantic slave trade. However, crop production conditions were not ideal on the island, so the investment was abandoned by the owners. It was believed that the Africans abandoned would most likely die of starvation. I will speak more about the island in a later episode. But going back to what I was talking about. In my early years, I spent most of my time with my grandmother and her friends. Can you imagine? I think this is one of the reasons I am who I am. As I learn about womb wellness, I understand the importance of knowing more about the women who came before me. My grandmother who raised me was carried in her grandmother's womb. My great-grandmother Florrie carried my mother who carried me. Womb health is passed on from generation to generation and is directly connected to our lifestyle. It affects us mentally, physically, and spiritually. I have carried the trauma of slavery and colonization in my womb. Knowing that my culture includes African, Irish, and Arawak has been critical in reconnecting with self. I am looking forward to learning more about my ancestors. Actions in history have hurt us all in so many different ways. My journey has reminded me, at the end of the day, there is only one God. We are reminded that we are here for a time to experience this life. We are on contract. Many of us have forgotten about these contracts. Some didn't get the full details, while others entered into new contracts. It is not in our best interest to break a contract with the Most High. I am grateful to have learned about the various energetic forces that have shown up to lead the way throughout the various cycles in history. I have come to realize that the cycles of the universe do not change. Rather, it is only our behavior as human beings that have changed, subsequently having disastrous consequences for generations. I humbly remind, we are on contract. We have all that we need to shift the vibration for the next generation. I thank you for listening. I am your daughter, granddaughter, sister, and auntie, Ayame, sending you peace, love, and light as you continue to navigate your journey.